and we're here to look at medicine. Yeah, medicine. I don't know why I was saying it differently in my head, like Medasin, like just medicine. Always in a hurry. The album. It's going to be about 30 minutes, I'm told. Let me read you guys the comment that this came from, though. This is actually pretty cool. I want to give you a shout out. Mr. The Sixth Sense. Thank you for this. Wow, what a genuine and detailed reaction. We're talking about the Bonobo video, which apparently somebody saw. Love your earnest appreciation of the album. Thank you. You're welcome. It's right to the upper 3% of my fave albums of all time. Uh, yeah, I'd say that's fair. Um, I would love you to check out another incredible and talented visionary artist, the incomparable Arca, who released 4 LPs in a single week. That's work. As part of a 5 album giga project called Kick. Not like the really crappy social media platform, like you actually kick something. Albums 2 through 5 vary in genre and mode. Apparently one is very basic, so whatever. We'll skip the first album. And are a fusion of cyber reggaeton. I don't know what that means. Shoegaze, deconstructed industrial hip hop. Okay, I kind of have a sense of that. Hyper pop. What is hyper pop? That's actually, I think that's the most worrisome of them all. Shoegaze electro rock. Okay. And neoclassical ambient opera. So, I don't even know. That's like Moby and like Andrea Bocelli. Like, what? That's rapped. Okay, so there's more to it. It's neoclassical ambient opera that's rapped and sung in multiple languages. Oh, he continues casually. Oh, and she wrote and produced every track. Well, I mean that kind of goes without saying, right? Cake 3 would have to be my favorite. Okay. It's also a compilation album. Okay, so if you don't want to go through all of them at once, you know what? I don't know. We're probably going to take that one album at a time. That seems interesting enough to do though. P.S. If you want something truly gorgeous that isn't as colossal as Arca, it would be helpful if I knew how to rate. Check out Medasin's 30-minute Always in a Hurry and thank me later. Well, I'll thank you now. So, thank you, Mr. The Sixth Sense. Okay, well, I have no idea what we're doing. We did not do any research for this because I I just didn't want to. But depending on how this goes, we may do deeper dives, more research before we get into other albums. So let's begin this 30-minute journey. Hold, please. Headphones must be applied. Okay. Oh, it's jazz. It's just jazz, guys. Oh, we're gonna have fun today. This man's snare is unstoppable. Let's just for laughs, let's just catch that again. Yeah. And the toms are limited, but man, they are so impactful. It's just enough. So we got hat, and then here come the snares. Unbelievable. Ooh. Those rim shots are ridiculous. Wow. And this groove right here is so steady. I'm loving this. Oh! Ah, that break, that just split second of hold is just so potent. Man, that's the ishness right there. I need some more of that medicine right now. It gets me every time. Wow. Okay, so we've got a lot of shutter on these strings. That um, that's kind of impressive because it's really fast and um, it's like having like an exaggerated vibrato in the voice. Only the voice in this case are stringed instruments. So we have this light string ensemble coming in. Um, it to me it's impressive because when you put that much when you put that many effects on it, um, it can seem a little less smooth, but this is it, it's so forward and it doesn't bog down the tempo, which is which is all incredibly fast and like as the title would imply. And you got these little bird sounds coming in. It's really it's uh it's painting a a panorama rather. Uh, very nice. That's kind of it's a good opener. Yeah. Let's finish it up. Okay, so it looks like we're going into like a little breakbeat section. I don't know if this is going to carry through to the end, but uh yeah, I think that's interesting that most of the snare pattern is from before is preserved, except some of it is replaced by some of the lower notes. Just so that it doesn't feel like it's any less busy, and yet there's a there's a bigger groove about it, right? It's if you were listening to the same snare pattern in this part, it would probably start to lose its impact. Um, so I think that was a smart choice. Back to the hats. Okay. We're just gonna fade out. We got a little surprise left. And catch that bird sound again. Huh. It's eerily similar. I'll put it up there, but it's eerily similar to what happens at the end of like Layla, the Dwayne Allman, the infamous Dwayne Allman bird sound. Just a short story. Dwayne Allman famously could make. Whoa, buddy. Easy, buckaroo. Anyway, the story goes that Dwayne Allman could famously make a bird sound with his guitar. That was like really something special he could do. And if you think about it, that is pretty wild. All right, now what do we got here? Okay, so the first thing we hear in this, it's weird because the first thing we see is this guy at the piano, right? And the first thing we hear is an acoustic guitar. So that's kind of cool. I feel like the visual is just a stand-in, just for the creative process. And then there's kind of this, it's like to me, it really plays with the idea of always being in a rush, because to me, being in a rush or a hurry kind of has this feeling of being off time, right? There's a time that you're aware of, there's the goal time, and then there's the time you're on, and you're presumably trying to catch up to the time that you want to be at if you're in a rush, you know? So to me, I'm sensing that there are two different time signatures here. There's this, I think it's like a combination of like that same kind of string arrangement from before, and then there's like this kind of synth. It's kind of like it's a little bit baked kind of synth. We'll enjoy some of that again. So yeah, it's interesting because to me it's like a conversation between two different time signatures, and so that to me fits in well with the theme of the album so far. All right, so these synths are kind of on their own thing right here, so they're opening up. And here comes the acoustic. And so it begins to fall off pretty quickly here. So you see it's already fallen off. You've been paying attention to the acoustic guitar. And here comes the synth, reminding you that they're on their own thing. You see, now it's catching up again. That's just cool. I love that. That channel switch there, classic. That's just beautiful. Let me catch that again. So we're here. And I think it's been quieted down a little bit, so it's fading out here, right? And then oh. We're fading out again. What's gonna happen this time? Okay. I don't want to look at the time. I don't want to know how far along we are. Been working on that. Okay. Yeah, that's just cool. That's just honestly, that just sounds like what like the internal dialogue, what happens before you finally start to write. So at the end he finally starts to get it. And it becomes this kind of thing. And there's a lot of there's a lot of competing there's a lot of competing elements here. Just the way these chords are bouncing back and forth as they descend and yeah. Right, here we go. That right there. Yeah. How to make a medicine type beat. We might watch that later. But what's up? It's a really nice fade. Ooh. Oh gosh. The detuning is just so heavy. Okay, so there's almost like it's interesting because when something is stretched, right, there tends to be a bounce back, and the bounce back in this, the stretch is cool, obviously, but the bounce back is so heavy in this that it's it's like it's coming back to, I don't know if it's coming back to the same tone or not, if that's the same note or not, I can't tell. But it's if not, they're very close together, and it's like creating like this pulse beat the underneath the rest of the song. It's like a phantom pulse. It's really weird. Oh. And so now we've doubled it up, right? Now it's gone below in the bass, so it's doubled up. Super powerful. Okay, and so in the lows, that's really cool. In the lows, it's more than that. I think there's more going on there. So instead of doom 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 doom, it's doom 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 doom. Here. I like that a lot. Okay, so I'm thinking that was just the just the bongos being stretched really low and creating that illusion that it was part of the bass. That's cool. Yeah, I feel strange. Uh-oh. I feel like this is gonna get weird. His kick. Wait. Wait, this guy's just me with a shave. This is my vibe. Yeah. Give it to me. Come on. Talk to me. Yeah. Dude, top 10 beats to rap over. Jeebus. Ugh. Can't do it because I got glasses on. This was just me my entire college stay. I appreciate how the Congo section is being used with the snare, like with the traditional drum kit. Just A+ on that. He's still vibing. He's still going. I gotta go too. That little flutter on the strings right there, it's like, it's a slow flutter. It's kind of like you ever like just envision the way like Jimi Hendrix does his little flutter, right? Innumerable guitarists have kind of you know, drafted that into their own repertoire, but I mean it was basically, you know, Jimmy's. And it feels like a slower version of that. It just adds so much more expressiveness. It's so much more emotional just because of that. It's like I don't know, it feels like it doesn't know where to rest. To hear it done on these big strings like that is just something new. Man. Okay, shout out to this guy, to Medasin. Shout out to Medasin for having two different kinds of basses. So this one is really smooth. It's got a lot of emotion. Not a lot. Yeah, emotion, but also motion, regular motion, not emotion. Uh, and then this other one, it's got a little bit more, it's a little fatter. It's got a little bit more oomph on it. Um, I feel like that's more for the chorus, right? Um, it's just so interesting. I don't even really know what to think of the fat bass yet, although I like it. And so here's smooth time. Yeah, I understand that now. Yeah, I get it, because there's so much space left to fill after the easy boss. We're just gonna save that. Oh, bro is going through it a little bit right now. Can we get a little encouragement in chat for Broski? After you have that saxophone peter out, you kind of lose that energy. There's kind of an energy vacuum. You need something to fill it. So that fatter bass sound is very clever, right? So instead of just letting the song kind of peter out, which I think like most normal artists would have probably done that, but this guy's a cut above, I feel. He really was like, you know what, let me just patch up that little hole, make everything nice and seamless. I I gotta go back for that. That phrasing was just too perfect when he kicked up there. I don't have perfect pitch, so I don't know what note he kicked up to, but the way that he got there was just brilliant. Alright, so here we go. Alright, here we go. So he wants to go up here, right? But it's not quite it. So he needs to come over and then it's so cool because you expect him, at least I do, right? It would have made sense to go just a little bit more, but it's kind of the way that little like stutter at the beginning of the album, where that just that missing beat is like whoa, what is going on here? It's kind of in that same frame of mind. So like we're always in a hurry, right? So it's to rush in there and get there all of a sudden, brilliant. Man, you got to appreciate a good shaker. Okay, so you've got right, and then you've got hang on, and then you've got and then you've got underneath with some kind of hand drum. It's not a traditional drum. Well, I guess it's more traditional than the traditional drum if you think about it. That's cool. So being that the beats are so melodic, and they are in this album, normally you have counter melodies. This is like a counter beat, but he gets away with it because the beat is just so melodic. Ugh. Oh. Yeah, what is going on here? So we got... This is so moody. It's like... Oh. Ridiculousness. Oh. It hurts. You can feel the hurt in that.
If you give me the next 10 seconds,
Man,
I'm
they're
going to show
going
you
heavy
how to
with
get
these ads
started in
today.
voiceover and
Who are
land your
you?
first paying
My second
gig.
grade teacher, get out of here. Wait. Anatoly is. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Alright. Ooh. So this is like bossa nova on just super steroids. All right, so we gotta get it from the beginning because I want to hear those ad libs again. That was too funny. All right. Ooh. Oh, oh, oh. So when you add all that wobble and all that detune, and the way all those chords are pouring in, right? So it really fills up the sonic space. So after the busy intro, we have this little kind of a soft interlude where it's the beat is a little bit more stripped down, um, and it's not quite as overdriven. And then we get the keys. I really appreciate that little time at the end that he's giving for things to kind of float away. Right here. And it's just this little phrasing at the end. that lets you know that he's about to begin again. It's really interesting. Oh! Oh. Come on, do it. It's making me do the I feel strange again. That's hilarious. Huh. Him. Honestly, it should just be called I'm Him at this point. Like, okay, so we got the EQ, right? So things are progressing. It was just a guy standing there, then it was a guy on a piano. Now we've got the EQ. Unbelievably fat. That snare is unbelievable, or not snare. That synth is unbelievably fat. Oh. Alright, what do we got? Okay. Oh, so we got an old school swing beat. Okay. Every third there's like an extra beat in there. So it's like I think it's like it turns into like a 5? Like a 5/4? I could be mistaken. I probably am mistaken. Uh, but that's just what I'm hearing. I don't know. If somebody's just really, really good with this type of thing, please feel free to comment it up. Just light them up in the comment section. You will not only be helping me to understand and to become a greater appreciator and perhaps creator of music, but you'll just be you'll be helping everyone out, and you'll be looking cool. So really, there's nothing for you to lose. let's talk about the last song. Sorry, that was just too much fun to pass up. Uh, that song was okay. So there was, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a kind of like a Middle Eastern kind of instrument. That was interesting to have that peppered in there. I don't think we've heard that yet in the album. Uh, the groove was unstoppable, uh, and again, it's these little off-color little phrasings that he had, and that's that tune had a lot in them. So if you want to enjoy that, please go back and do that. I invite you to do that. But we must continue on. Just trust me that that was actually one of my favorite tracks so far. Huge groove, no messing around, my kind of track. Oh, wait. What we got here? All right, so loving the ambient like traffic sounds that are like interspersed throughout the album. I think that's really neat. There it is again. Okay, so he does this thing. He loves to drop in this like surprise like splash of bass. He's just like, you know what? It needs to drop here for no apparent reason. And it's it's seemingly it's always a little bit rushed, right? It's always like a beat before it should happen, right? And that really really keeps it going because it's like, okay, you have to stop thinking about this and start thinking about something else, which is really just a continuation of the groove to begin with. So it's like, stop doing what you're doing and keep doing what you're doing. That's honestly, that's the essence of being in a hurry. Stop doing what you're doing and continue doing what you're doing. This right here. So we've got this. We're developing it, we're showing you the chords, and then there's that. All right, show you more of it. Let's see what it does. Progress a little bit more. He's gonna cut it off. Yeah. Huge swell. Enormous. Oh, can't go wrong with that. Okay, so this is a pad, right? And you use a pad when a pad allows you to do is it allows you to pump a large uh, kind of, okay, so imagine you're painting, but instead of, just painting the background with your little, 1 inch, 2 inch brush, you get out, the big, like a paint roller, essentially. That's basically what a pad does. And so like all of these string sounds are like condensed and kind of just kind of mushed together in this big string pad. So that's what you use sometimes if you're looking to dial up the ambience a little bit instead of doing a string ensemble, which you could still. So let's say that there are four, right? So there are four stringed instruments. You could have that, and you could still pretty much tell that there are four instruments being played there or more. Instead of doing that, you have this thing where it's like, well, I can't even tell how many instruments are being played there or what's going on. All I know is there is sound. There's a big wall of sound. And really it's not even a wall of sound because it's so dynamic and it's so fluid. It's more like an ocean of sound. So we have this. So as soon as this develops a little bit more, so it's starting in. And we're really gonna swell up here. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so that was a good stop. So, uh, I like the drum. I like this drum groove pretty much more than any other that I've heard. It's up there. Um, and I like that it's like it's descending. So it's staying really true to this descending pattern that it has. And yet we have, and if you couldn't tell before, he really lets you know on these last couple of pushes here where the pad is doing this where it'll hit and it'll slide way up. It's like almost like scoops up into the next, like it intrudes, like it's like what are we like, where is the home for this instrument, or this pad, as it were, this pad of instruments. So this is kind of like this sliding, this it's ascending up, and it's kind of it feels like this haphazard way it's being pulled up, and yet the way that these drums are so steady and just holding so fast to this, like this descending pattern, it's like it's the anchor, right? I find that really interesting. So here we go. They throw you a bone there. He slides down that one. Man. Whew. So just before, this is another thing that I've noticed that he's been doing. Just before something becomes obnoxious, like he's aware that um, there's something to be had in getting a little bit off, a little bit dissonant, right? But not to overplay your hand and make it be obnoxious. So I like there how at the end it's like it was a gross, really gross sound, and yet it was like you, or at least I, expected it to keep going, and when it didn't, there's this conflict. It's like, do I want this gross sound to keep going? Like, and yet you're happy that it's gone. It's interesting. It's relief, but it's also you're missing the sound. It's confusing. So here we go. And then we tease one more, but not quite. Oh, there comes the Okay, so we switched to this kind of, I don't know if you could call it a fill pattern or not. I think I'm gonna call it that for now. But this alternate drum groove, it's like it's uncomfortable um, how short the loop is, right? And the the being that the strings just won't kick in and switch over to that big synth pad. It's like what's going on? So I mean that's just brilliant. We're spending a lot more time on this song. This must be a good one. So here we don't know where we are, what's going on, and it's like, just give it to me, boss. There's kind of a pulse note being played there too. That helps a lot. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Oh. Oh. What is this? What is this high that is played over? Oh man. Wait. Oh. It's so clean. There's the fat bass again. There it is. Man. I think there might have been a little bit of variation of that drum groove in the second instance of that. I'm not sure. Again, this whole album is just not sure for me. Wow. Although I mean it's hard to just catch every single thing on the first listen, you know. That's a big ask for anybody.
No more. Scooch over.
Can't sell me
Background's
paper.
not quite.
Who are they marketing to? Who the hell do you think I am? Audio data told my tag. You know what I'm saying? Like I work at home. I'm apparently I'm a housewife who's looking to get her degree online. While, you know, maybe being like a ghostwriter on Reedsy. Is that the profile? Is that what I give off? Whatever. I can't get it out of my head now. That is something that is ingrained in my soul. Oh, there it is again. There it is again. Are you kidding me? Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. This is literally, this is probably not even Medasin, right? There's no way this is although it could be. I've been duped. You guys, we've been had. Oh my gosh. Okay, so apparently this is the chameleon. Just close your eyes and listen. Good tip. Also, you can do what is that song? Or we need to go back. We need to go back to the past. Samurai Jack. All right, so Open Up is the final song of that album, and it stands to reason because that was absolutely the magnum opus of that particular arrangement. I was stupendous on every level. Just a little bit of gloss here for this man. I'm sorry, you don't need that, but let me put it to you like a straight guy. I like your work. Anyway, I mean, there's just so much. There's so much with the emotion. It's so tense and so calming where it needed to be. That's kind of the whole. I mean, I'm sensing that there was like a conversation between that throughout the album, which I appreciate. I mean, I feel like everyone can relate to that. And I mean, am I wrong to suggest that some people like to be in a hurry? Some people like to rush around. They like the whole rat race thing. There's a kind of comfort in that. And you know, we as human beings like to shy away from that, you know, but, you know, then why do it? Why go work? Why, you know, move out from the countryside into the city? You know, why do people do these things when they do them? You know, something to grapple with. What is it? Elevator music. That's so funny. This is not I mean, it is a little bit. God, I can't do this again. There it is again. Okay, so there's the stop. There's the short stop. And frankly, okay, so apparently this must just be I guess it's a breakbeat thing, but honestly, I feel like it's relatively new. There's just this insistence on, well, let's just cut it off. Let's interrupt a beat early. But he does it here again. So this is really like this continuous interruption, these different phrasings that sound like different melodies from different elevator music tracks. That's the whole point of this song. I'm glad I came back to talk about this one a little bit. Um, but you know, that being said, we have finished the album, so we need to be finished with it. This is just this is cool. I like this artist. Very easy to see why someone who was, you know, on my Bonobo video suggested this. I get that. Um, but I also understand that, you know, this guy has his own deal. He has his own style, and really it's similar. I confused it with other breakbeat artists, but you know, that doesn't mean anything. I'm thinking a deeper dive is in order here. And frankly, I can't wait. And we've still got to get to other things. I mean, I'm just gonna be busy for a little bit. So I mean, if you're in my DMs, you know, I'm sorry about you. But yeah, you know, you guys just stay cool, enjoy the groove, just relax, man. There's too much tension. There's no need to rush, unless you're into that.